Hey.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Podcast time.
We're here to tell you. We
Yeah.
got some stuff going over here. It is time for our Conscious Connection podcast to begin. And we're going to have a great time. But you don't have to worry about a lot of the details because our first podcast is going to be for the public. Y'all get it.
Yay.
Everybody gets to hear our first podcast. We're going to have some awesome guests throughout this podcast. Really cool guests coming on. We're going to talk about connection. We're going to talk a lot about connection. This is going to coincide with what's left of our 2022 or whatever we get to go to, if we get to go anywhere. Who knows?
We're in this together.
We are. But let's talk a little bit about this podcast. We're going to be talking about connection. You can hear it, the first one in public.
Yep.
Then after that, we are taking this podcast straight to our Patreon channel, and that's where it will be bi-monthly, twice a month on Thursday night. Every other Thursday night, we will be doing a podcast.
Yep.
You can, there are 3 levels. You can join our Patreon page. You can go to patreon.com. We will put a link in after this. You can be a listener, right? You can join and be a listener for $10 a month. $10,
yep.
Right? You can come in, you can listen to the podcast, you have access to the podcast, everything. On our Patreon channel that's there, our videos, and every time we post a video on YouTube, we'll be posting it on the Patreon channel. We've had some trial runs with this Patreon over the past year. It's been hit and miss. We finally done some studying. We finally figured it out. We finally got some equipment. We're ready to go. You can be a worker for a whole $20 a month. $20, right? Spend more than that on candy and beer.
And that will be where they can do like worksheets, and
Yep.
they're going to do like letter writing things that put them into healing.
Yep, we're going to, they obviously get access to the podcast and all that stuff.
Awesome.
But let's see. I said we got to fix that because I kind of spelled that wrong. But this tier, you're going to have access to a question and answer session after the podcast. So we'll let this tier know when we're recording the podcast. A lot of those will be live. Some of them will be recorded. And we'll let this tier know and the tier next to it because they'll get some of the same things. But we'll let you know. And then that way you guys can come in for a question and answer session, which is going to be really cool with some of these guests. You're going to be so excited over some of these guests. I am excited. You're also going to receive worksheets that coincide with that particular topic that we're working on when we're doing this podcast and we're talking to our guests. So you're going to have an opportunity to actually do your personal work when we're doing this public podcast. So we're not going to be sharing those worksheets or anything with anybody. This is your personal work. It's going to open your eyes to a lot of the personal work that you have to do. You get 10% off of our merchandise. We don't have any up on the Patreon channel yet, but it's coming. All kinds of Lee and Sherry podcast stuff. All kinds of fun stuff. We're going to all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, yeah. I know.
All kinds of Lee and Sherry Patreon merchandise.
She's the fun one.
It's going to be a blast. You also get, if you're on this level, you get 10% off if we're on tour, whatever we got to do this year, any seminars, as long as they are hosted by Relationship Reinvented. You guys, if on this tier, you get 10% off any of our dates if we come to your city, any of our online webinars, and any sessions and programs that we offer. That even includes the connection
guide, of course the coaching cert, and root camp. And I believe there's a new one that we're actually working on that actually will be the teardown. Is it the 90-day teardown? Is that part of that as well? Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So it's going to be cool. We're going to have a weekly drawing for this tier. Every week we're going to draw for a free session with Lee and I personally for a free 45-minute session. And we're going to do an exclusive live stream question and answers here. So as we come on live on YouTube, we're going to do that live as well with our Patreon. And we're going to come in and do live question and answers that's really not out there for all the public to see. And finally, we have the mission-focused tier. And this level gets you everything the other level does, except for instead of 10% off, you get 20% off, all that cool stuff. And you guys get exclusive merchandise that says, mission-focused member, all that cool stuff. You guys get... this level is really going to get you going deeper.
Absolutely.
Right? Because we're going to do all those worksheets and stuff, and we're going to have an exclusive work group here on Patreon, a little chat group for this level, and we can discuss your work, your personal questions, and things like that. You get on that with this level. You get a question and answer a month, just specifically for this level. So that means you get access to the Q&A from the other levels that we're doing, but exclusively for this one as well, you get an extra Q&A with us personally a month.
Yeah.
And we're going to do really cool contests in this level. I'm going to do really fun contests. You're going to have to mail some stuff in. You're going to have to call some stuff in, the fifth caller type of thing.
Yep.
We're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. It's going to be so fun. So you can go to our Patreon page and check that out. I have no clue what that was. All kinds of noise.
Yeah.
We got some really cool things going on here. We got this really cool studio set up. Really cool backdrops that can come down. We got this ready to finally go. It's been a long time coming. We're super duper excited.
Yes, we are.
To have some great guest lines up for some really amazing topics that's really going to open your eyes to connection and what it's all about.
And trust us, we really kind of given this a lot of thought, but we also understand this is mission driven. But I think the biggest thing that we're going to be able to do is take what we've been able to do and make it fun, but make it very informative, as well as give you some really good tools as far as emotional connection building, as far as mental, most of the things that we're looking at, we had to kind of look at how we came together, and we wanted to make sure we presented it in a way that actually gives you the know-how. There's a lot that you can look out there and find, but actually getting in deep and doing that deep love that you need to do in order to attract it, that's what this is going to be for. So we're really excited, and we hope you tune in.
And before we do our podcast, this thing right here, can we cut it off?
You can put it on mine. I need some.
I would look kind of funny up on here. Anyway, there.
All right.
Anyway, no self-judgment there at all.
No.
So yeah, we're about to have a blast, guys. We're going to have a good time, and we're coming to you and with some serious topics, and we're also going to have a good time too.
Absolutely.
So get in on this. Visit our Patreon page, but check this out. The first podcast is going to be live. And we're going to, it's going to be public. So just wait for the information on that. And let's get going. We're stoked.
See you soon.